Ahoy, Morning Breathers. Welcome to Wednesday's edition of the Morning Breath. We're back.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Just,
We try.
It's just not the same.
We try. It's just not Jackson.
No.
He's somewhere between here and Alabama, isn't he? No, he's back.
He's in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. He went clear up to Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
Had to get his ping pong pool table.
And I'm not going to do it because it's not my place to tell. But I think when he does come back, he's going to have a story to tell.
You think?
I think so.
Okay.
I would concur with that thought.
Yeah. But it's his story to tell. So, and I don't know details anyway. But I think there's a story to tell.
Okay. Well, we'll be anxious to hear that because I don't know about it either.
Yeah. Well, I just found out yesterday. So.
Okay. Well, welcome everybody. It's Wednesday. We were not here yesterday, and that's all we're going to say about that. Those things happen.
It was a late night Monday. I can tell you that.
Doubleheader baseball.
Doubleheader baseball. The
Goes
games
long.
The games got over right around 10:30, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then Peter and I had to tear down and then come back here and set up. So we were all ready to go, and it got to be a late night.
Understandable. So, we have a plan moving forward.
We do. We think.
So
we're developing a plan.
Plan is in the works. So
Jimmy says we don't sound like a camel. So
we don't sound like a camel.
Hump day.
Oh, Jimmy. Wednesday. I'd be in my golf attire. Today I am not. Some stuff I have to get done.
Taking a day off?
Taking a day off.
Of golf?
I don't want to.
Life gets in the way sometimes.
Sometimes. I still have preparations to do over at Shelliot for the Shriners coming to town.
That's right. That's this weekend.
This weekend. I have my grandson's first birthday, same day as that.
Well, how many grandkids get the whole Shriner crew to show up at your birthday party?
Well, it's not going to be there. I'm afraid we might scare him. He just won. He doesn't really like people yet.
Well, yeah, but there's Shriners. Come on. Who wouldn't like Shriners?
Every Christmas. So I haven't even seen what the weather's supposed to do for Saturday.
You
do an extended forecast in your set for the day?
Not today. I'm not prepared for such a thing. But tomorrow I can.
We'd like a 5-day.
Tomorrow I can.
The people have spoken.
The one person to my right has spoken. I'm not sure there's a mass swell of people that have spoken.
Well, they've been emailing me and stuff. So 5-day forecast.
I'll get that tomorrow. We'll have a Thursday through Sunday forecast.
You don't look the weather up until that break anyway. So.
Well, I checked the actual temperature, but I don't give away all my secrets. Come on now.
Okay. All right. Well,
I spend hours of prep time.
I know.
Hours.
We do have.
Nope.
Yep.
Not so
Sometimes
much.
I have to turn the page over.
Nothing there.
So there was the hours spent.
I have mine. I have mine.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, I will say this, that the Southeast Iowa Video Network is sponsored by KCTC.
Thank you, Casey.
Thanks, Casey, and all the gang over at KCTC. And the three of us this morning, we are the Morning Breath crew. We are sponsored by Hy-Vee and Hy-Vee Fast and Fresh.
Thank you, Willie.
Thanks, Willie, and all the Hy-Vees and Hy-Vee Fast and Fresh. Yesterday I missed, so I'm just going to get this out of the way right away. I missed doing this live. That it was my stepdaughter, my daughter. She's really as good as my daughter as far as I'm concerned. But she's really my stepdaughter. It was her birthday yesterday.
Well, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Megan. That reminded me of something. I'll have to try and look up if you get something.
I got a quick hitter. So I don't know how you guys feel about tattoos, but a woman, Swiss woman, is such a fan of Red Bull that she reportedly got an energy drink can's barcode tattooed on her skin, and it amazingly works at self-checkout. A video. So Red Bull, the UPC barcode.
Yeah.
And she got it tattooed, which I have to admit the tattoo artist has to be pretty good if it actually works, because those are pretty thin lines, and to tattoo them things on there is pretty good. But there's a video of her, and she ran her arm across the barcode scanner, and it rang up a can of Red Bull, just from her barcode until they changed the price.
Oh, she had it from.
I don't know how those work. I think
two.
maybe the barcode stays the same. They can just change the price in the system. I'm not sure. But if they ever change the barcode, then she's just stuck with a barcode that says nothing.
Yeah, I would have that prominently on my palm of my hand.
She put it on her forearm, I think. That's one you wouldn't want to put on your butt because then you got to scan your butt. And it
Strategically placed it.
you do. You have to be in the right spot for that. So that's all on that. Do you keep
there
going,
you
or you got something else?
Well,
you ready?
This was some signs. See, when I said stepdaughter, it reminded me of something. It's a sign that was out there. It says, "This is my stepladder. I never knew my real ladder." My wife said I never listened to her, something like that.
Or something like that, yeah. Yeah, we did a joke like that. It's like, my wife says I never listen, and she says, like, that was a weird place to start a conversation.
Indeed.
Yeah. Anyway.
I checked into the Hokey Pokey clinic, and I turned myself around.
Turn yourself around.
As you do.
And then this one dawned on me too. This is the season that mattresses all over the world are just apparently on sale. You see those signs out? Mattress sale?
They're all over.
Everywhere.
Well, yeah, they say that's like the big thing, President's Day and Memorial Day. It's like Memorial Day, it's to honor fallen soldiers
Yes.
and sell mattresses.
Mattresses. But no matter what town you go in,
That's mattress sale.
huge mattress sale.
Yeah.
It must be a glut of mattresses. They didn't get hit by the COVID.
I think the lesson there is if you ever buy a mattress for full price, you're doing it wrong
Yeah.
because it's on sale somewhere.
Somewhere. I woke up this morning and
As did we all.
aren't we glad?
Aren't we
I'm
glad?
glad we woke up. My wife was rearranging the living room, and
This
she
morning?
just did it last night.
Oh. And you didn't notice?
So now, she was moving things around. I said, "Honey, you got it just right." She said, "Stop making fun of me, and why don't you ask the other guys if their wives or ladies do that?" So, it's just something that I have to live with. I mean, she'll just move the couch, clear in another spot, and our dining room table somewhere else.
Yeah, no. So I would be more like your wife. I would be the one to do that. My wife would not.
Really?
Yes. Now I don't because I'd have to get approval. So Patty doesn't need approval. She can just do it, and it is what it is, right?
Yep. She doesn't ask. She doesn't have to ask.
So my wife would not rearrange. I would change things up once a week just because.
Really?
But I would never get approval to do such a thing.
Well, I challenge you to go to move something. You said Stacy goes away for a few days.
She does. So the opportunity is there. I'm not sure the risk risk is worth the reward on that.
Whoa.
well, I think I'd have to change it right back. So
What if you moved one little thing every day for like every week to the point where everything is moved?
She'll notice.
she'd notice.
Oh,
Yeah, partly because where I would start, there's like in front of our couch, it's an antique chest thing, which is kind of served as a coffee table in front of the couch, and she puts her feet up on it. So if it's moved, her feet don't reach. So she immediately knows that it's been moved, even if it's been moved 6 inches.
well, then move that last.
Move that last. Move the couch further away from it. Yeah. So also the way our house is set up, there's not a lot of room to move. I mean, there's not a lot of options for the living room.
I think you should try it one time.
just
Give us a report.
Just turn everything to
Just-
different places.
I'm not saying move the TV, but everything else. Because that's the one thing Patty can't move. She can't move the TV.
Yeah, see, I would move the TV.
Does this hang on the wall?
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, I
See,
could-
you can have all kinds
Yeah.
of fun.
Yeah. No, I got one of those stands that has the pole sticking up and it's mounted on that pole. So
You
it's
could
kind of
just say
hanging.
the skipper made me do it.
The skipper made me do it. And then I'll give her
It's an experiment.
And then I'll give her
darling.
your phone number.
It's an experiment, darling.
Well,
Oh,
she's-
that'll be the end of my chips.
You won't
Maybe
get
I
any
should
more
rethink
chips
this.
after that. Exactly right. Well, she's gone today. She's coming home tonight. I got time if I left work early
Well,
today. I
if there's
could.
no baseball or softball
There's
tonight,
not.
It's a good night to do it.
I know. I could change things up tonight and when she gets home,
Let's just see.
and then go to bed before she gets home.
Gauge the reaction. Yeah,
Just
there you
see
go.
what happens.
Lights out, man.
And then she'd come up and be like, "What'd you do in the living room?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?
What's wrong?
I don't know. Everything was fine when I went to bed. What'd you do?" It's maybe the only shot I got.
Well, that's when you didn't listen to her completely.
Exactly. So
What'd you say?
So anyway, to answer Patty's question, no, my wife would not do that.
All right.
I would, but I don't have carte blanche authority to do such things.
It's her thing. She just likes things different.
I totally get that. Shiny new things all the time. I'm all about it.
Must be in some kind of internal trait.
Well, it must be, but I'm just like, let's change things up.
As long as I have my lazy boy and it's facing in the general direction of the TV,
You're good.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I don't care what you do.
Which is interesting that's kind of, I have that trait, whatever you want to call it, because I work for a newspaper, and let me tell you what, if you move something around a newspaper, people let you know about it right now. So you kind of have to be careful with what you do with that. When I'm not going to open a can of worms here, but when we combined the union, the 3 papers into one,
Yes.
we had 3 separate crossword puzzles
Ooh.
in all 3 of those papers. So we had to find one combined crossword puzzle. Oh my God.
That was a problem.
It was a big problem because one was easier than another, and the people that used to have the hard one wanted to they thought the new one was too easy, and we tried to find a middle ground, and we went through 3 or 4 versions of a crossword puzzle before it settled down a little bit.
I'll be darned. I will be quite honest with you. Never once have I played your crossword puzzle,
Well, yeah.
but I read everything else.
Yes. Oh, I know you do. I know you
Wanna
do.
test me?
Nope.
Good.
Nope.
I forgot to do introductions. We got Boss Man Matt this morning.
Ahoy, Skipper.
Ahoy to you. And SBP in the house.
Ahoy, Skipper.
Ahoy to you, my lad. Nice little white polo today.
Thanks.
Looking
Stop.
skipper.
Stop.
It's skipper today.
Jeff's here this morning. Denise is here this morning. Jeff says he's with you, Tim. I should go ahead and change it. You guys don't have to live in my house after I do that. So
It's just an experiment.
it's
Just for fun.
We'll put it right back.
I don't know how fun it would be. That's the problem.
How mad could you get?
I don't know how mad she'd get. I don't know if she'd get mad, but I can guarantee you we'd change it back.
You'd have to get it back.
We'd have to do it back.
Just say, can we live with it for one night?
Right. I don't think she'd be mad. She'd be like, what the hell? What were you drinking? Or nothing. What? So you have no excuse.
See, I had like stuff in the drawer, in the drawers, like utensils. Mm-hmm. That doesn't even bother Patty to put them elsewhere. Just wherever there's a spot, she'll put stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's clearly the knife drawer, honey.
Yeah.
You don't put spatulas in there.
I can't ride with her that far.
You just
There's
can't
a
do
spot
that.
for stuff, but
If I go look for my spatula,
yeah.
I
Agree.
need to know where they are.
I agree with that.
All right.
Agree with that.
And truly, I think she just doesn't care. We have like 2 drawers for stuff like that. If it's not there, it's there.
Right. Yeah, no, there's a place for everything.
It's the little things that in relationships that I had a guy tell me once. He says, "You want to be right or you want to be married?"
That's exactly right.
I guess I prefer to stay married. Sticking with that, SBP. Do you and Jackson? Are you roommates?
Yeah.
Does he have any weird quirks that you want to divulge?
One thing that he does very weird is that he eats fruit a lot, right? Fruit.
I love fruit.
But the problem is he's the kind of guy who will buy something, but then will forget about it for a little bit. And with fruit, you don't have a lot of shelf time
Right.
with fruit. So a lot of times I'll find like rotten bananas on the counter Or all the time when we lived together back in college, he would have a rotten apple core in his car.
Oh, geez.
So I'd go into his car and I would see flies and there'd be an apple core. And I'm like, why are you
that
keeping
out.
this in here?
Just throw that out.
Just throw it out the window at some point,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. It's biodegradable.
So,
let it biodegrade outside, not in your car, right?
right. But that'd be the big thing, is that he just things have a shelf life, and I don't think he has the.
We have a problem with bananas too.
Well, we have a problem where we'll buy bananas and they'd be like in a bunch of 6, and we'll eat 5 of them, and then for whatever reason, the last one just dies.
I'm not eating that.
I don't know.
A little too dark.
Yeah. So speaking of fruit flies, funny quick story. My daughter, they had some fruit flies in their house, and so she looked online and found this vinegar and whatever solution that you put out. And so she thought she was doing great, and then she checked it, a day or two later, and there was a couple fruit flies in it. And she's like, "Great, this is working, and I'm, helping get rid of these fruit flies." And then a couple days later, there's a couple more in there, and she's feeling pretty good about it. And then she sees her son, my grandson, one day, kills one, picks it up, and puts it in there. And she goes, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "Well, I know that's what it's for, and I'm just trying to help you out." He'd killed all of them and dropped them in there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so she wasn't catching any.
That's awesome.
He was catching them and putting them in there.
So it does work.
It does work.
Didn't say that vinegar drew anything to it.
Exactly.
It's the deathbed.
Yeah,
For fruit fly.
that's just where they go once you kill them.
That's hilarious.
It is hilarious. She goes, "I thought I was doing so great," and here he was doing it for me.
Had a kid. Well, it's been a while since I have a who gives a crap
Oh,
file,
well.
but here we go.
Here we go.
Scientists have made the most precise measurement to date of the magnetic properties of a muon. What is a muon, you might ask?
I probably wouldn't
Well,
ask.
Peter, as you know,
Yes, of course, the muon.
the muon is a subatomic particle created by cosmic rays hitting the atmosphere. So
That's so general.
Obviously, I thought I did that for Matt's purpose.
You had to dumb it
Sure
down.
he didn't know
You had to dumb it
what
down for me a
muon
little
was.
bit. So
So the
Appreciate
results
it.
confirm an anomalous properties that are not explained by theory.
but now we know.
Yeah, there's more. I could go deeper, but I think let's just stop.
My brain's about to explode the way it is, so let's just hold off.
That'll give us something to think about over the break while you're watching the.
Yeah, and Jeff, yes, same thing with comic strips. You're 100% right. If we changed up comic strips, people would let us know in a hurry. Although we don't even have them now, but we did.
When I was a Des Moines Register carrier, that was my favorite part of the whole paper. Comics.
Yeah.
Read those top to bottom too. I'm just an old newspaper guy.
You are an old newspaper guy.
All right, let's. We should take a break, and we'll be right back.
Introducing Hy-Vee Market Grill, where every meal is a delight. Start your day with our mouthwatering breakfast options and savor flavorful lunches with friends and family. Cap off your day with our delectable dinners. Hy-Vee Market Grill, where every moment is delicious.
Washington County Hospital and Clinics, providing quality health care that puts you first. Whether during a hospital stay, seeing a primary care provider for wellness exams or sick visits, minor surgery to a total joint replacement, or recovering from an injury, we're here when you need us.
More than you expect for your health care. Washington County Hospital and Clinics.
At Seafirst Credit Union, we're all about making connections, like how we connect you to that dream vacation with a savings account designed to help get you on the flight there. Connect with Seafirst today and see why together is better.
Ahoy, morning brothers. Welcome back to Wednesday. The rains, the much needed rains, they came and went.
Yeah, actually, I thought it was going to rain more than it did yesterday. We had some pretty long stretches where there was no rain. I thought it was going to be an all-day soaker. Mm-hmm. But we got some rain, which is
It was
good.
a good rain. I don't know. If I was guessing, I'm going to say somewhere between 3/4 and an inch. That's just me guessing.
You've convinced me.
All right. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
What else do you have on your little plate over there?
The U.S. is more relaxed on naming protocol than other countries, but there are still some rules. Some
Naming people?
naming babies, yes. Some states have stricter naming laws, and other states don't have any. But there are still some names that have been ruled by the courts in the U.S. to be illegal. The courts have ruled. This is according to usbirthcertificates.com. So you cannot name your child in the United States King. So you can't be King Elliot, Queen, Jesus Christ, which that'd be bold. That'd be a bold move.
That would be a bold one.
That'd be
Yeah.
a bold move.
That's a big move.
King or Queen, I could kind of see. I don't see a huge deal with those, but Jesus Christ Elliot would be a lot.
Boy, I don't know if I'd ever want to go there. That's high expectations.
That is high expectations. The Roman numeral 3, so just 3 lines. Can't do that.
Can you do the Roman numeral 4?
Well, the only one that's on the list is the Roman numeral 3.
I wonder what the significance of that is.
It gets better. Santa Claus.
No Santa Claus?
No Santa Claus. You can't name your kid Santa Claus.
There's only one.
You can't name your kid Majesty. I guess I don't.
I feel like a lot of these King and Queen and Majesty ones are like
British.
from the 1700s.
Well, or from England. It's like I could see you wouldn't want, King Matt Bryant when you have actual King Charles.
Mm-hmm.
But in the United States, but Majesty, I don't have a problem with Majesty, but apparently not. Adolf Hitler, for obvious reasons.
Probably a good one.
Probably a good one. Messiah, again, a lot of pressure if you name Messiah. The @ symbol. You cannot name your child the @ symbol.
Probably for Gmail's sake.
Yeah, at
Yeah,
gmail.com.
that'd be a little confusing.
That's strange to me.
And some guy wanted to change his name to 1069, the numbers, so 1069, which the court says you can't, because you generally can't use numbers in your name. Apparently, because it messes up forms and tax stuff, and if you have numbers mixed in,
So they can't track you that way.
it was something. So you cannot be the numeral 1069, 1069. But the court said you can be 1069 spelled out. So as long as it's spelled out, you just can't use numerals.
That's a heck of a first name. I'd like to put that. Write your name on the test.
Yeah.
Sign your name to this legal document.
1069 camp. Yeah.
I did not realize it. I just thought you could name your kid anything.
Well, you would think, because we've heard some crazy ones, that it's like, well, maybe they shouldn't have done that. But we used to when I was in Cresco, we used to go to the hospital, and every time there was a new baby born in the obit, the hospital, we'd go take pictures and put the baby's picture in the paper, and we'd put their name, and they'd put a little thing on there that says it's a boy or it's a girl or whatever. I got to the point, and this was 25 years ago, where we had to ask them to tell us whether it was a boy or a girl, because a little baby all swaddled up, right? You can't tell. Hard to tell. And some of the names were like, I'm not sure. So we had to put a little thing on the form, a check mark. Is it a boy or is it a girl? Because we couldn't tell from the name.
I would have used that opportunity to do a public poll.
Yeah. Well, we
You
did.
gender the baby.
Yeah.
The boy name. Or girl
It's a
name.
boy name or girl name. Yeah, we could have done that. So other names banned in different countries, according to usbirthcertificates.com. In Morocco, you can't be called Sarah. Yeah. In Germany, you cannot name your child Osama bin Laden. Actually, I should preface this. Maybe it's since this one
That
guy.
might be a worldwide thing.
Yeah, I think it's just frowned upon everywhere. In Sweden, you can't go by the name Metallica.
That's just wrong.
United Kingdom, Cyanide. Malaysia, 007, again with the numbers thing, but you can't be named 007 Bryant.
See, that'd be a fun name.
The next one, apparently somebody tried. You can't. It's not pronounceable. It's like 24 letters and some numbers thrown in there. But they said no, can't do that.
no.
It's just random. It's not even a word. In France, you can't be called Prince William. In China, you cannot be called the Quran. Switzerland, you cannot be called Judas. Japan, you cannot be called Devil. And Italy, you can't be called Blue. Blue is banned in Italy.
You're my boy, Blue.
You're my boy, Blue.
I don't know what that is.
Old school. It's a movie.
I might have seen it.
It's a Will
Are we
Ferrell.
back to this again?
No, well-
movies that I haven't seen.
Peter started it, but I know what he's
That
talking
movie came out
about.
in like 2004.
I might have seen Old School.
You've probably heard of it.
Yeah. Some guys, one guy in particular, gets a house that happens to be on a college campus, and he's
Oh,
an
I
adult.
have seen that.
And then they start a fraternity. Vince Vaughn, Will Ferrell.
I do remember that. I have seen it.
It's a pretty good movie.
It's good. I don't remember Blue.
He's
the old guy.
I don't remember the old guy.
Well, he died halfway through.
Movies. I
So.
watch movies and then I forget.
Spoiler alert from a 20-year-old movie.
Interesting. But like, it's okay to name your kid Crap.
It's not
Didn't
on
make
the.
the
It's
list.
not on the list I have. I'm thinking there's some things you just don't do, right?
It makes me think of, I remember in stats class in high school, we learned about two brothers named Winner and Loser.
Oh, jeez. Mm-hmm. That'd mess you up.
Loser goes by Lou.
Of
You could believe it.
Of course.
But no,
What's his middle name? Loser.
I don't know. I didn't get into that.
If you really want to screw him up, be like Loser Champion. His middle name would be Champion.
Middle name champion.
just be like, all right, you pick. You want to go by your first name or your middle name?
I'll go Champ.
I'll go with Champion.
Champion.
Jeff says Elon Musk doesn't he name his kids with symbols and numbers? I'm not sure, but he ran out of names. He's got like 48 kids or something, doesn't he?
He's got a lot.
So I think he just ran out of names. He had to start using numbers.
That's the one you turn over to your wife too, don't
Yeah,
you?
well-
the mother.
Yeah, I don't know. I had input on that, but Denise says my sister's friend went to a baby shower. You were supposed to wear the color you thought the baby would be. She did not read the invite, and she wore a black sweater.
Fine print. We just talked about that the other day, Denise. Read the fine print.
Read the fine print.
Imagine what everybody thought when Denise walked. What do you know that we don't?
What are you getting? Are you hinting?
That's like the joke on TikTok I used to see when those baby reveal parties were big, and it would be like they'd cut the cake or they'd something, and it would be green.
Right.
And they look around like, what does green mean? And they pan to someone in a Shrek costume, and he'd be backing away from the party.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. I think we need to take a break so we can get set for the day. What do you think, Peter?
Yes.
All right, we'll be right back.
In the heart of rural Iowa, where community matters most, the connections we make are made to last. Meet KCTC, your hometown internet, phone, and TV provider. At KCTC, we're not just about technology, we're about people. Our dedicated team are your neighbors, committed to bringing you top-tier services right where you live. We believe in giving back to the community that raised us. Experience the power of a real connection with KCTC. Join us in building a stronger, more connected Southeast Iowa.
Attention Hy-Vee shoppers, introducing Hy-Vee Perks, your ticket to exclusive savings and rewards. Access exclusive perks, prices, earn gas discounts, and unlock special deals. All this for free. Join Hy-Vee Perks today and start saving.
Bring the kids, share the memories, celebrate 75 years of traditions at the Midwest Old Threshers Reunion. Relive the magic of steam engines, antique cars, and trucks, tractors, gas engines, and horses. Whether it's your first visit or a cherished tradition, you'll enjoy the delicious foods, the thrill of an Old West shootout, and the excitement of nightly grandstand entertainment. For 75 years, this has been the place where memories are made at the 2025 Midwest Old Threshers Reunion, August 28th through September 1st in Mount Pleasant, Iowa. Visit oldthreshers.com for more details.
The Connie and Amanda team is dedicated to giving back to our community by actively engaging with our clients, businesses, and the public. When it comes to helping you find your next home, investment, or commercial space, the Connie and Amanda team is here for you.
Oh, hoy, morning breathers. Welcome back. The commercials that we have, you know, the sponsors.
Yes.
I'm always enamored by the Old Threshers one. There's a lot of dangerous machinery they got running there.
There is.
The one that always gets me is that saw. That guy's just standing there.
Yes.
And he's sawing a chunk of lumber, a chunk of, you know, a tree, whatever he's sawing.
Yeah. That's the way it was. I mean, it's
that saw blade's as big as this table,
and moving fast.
and he's cutting a little log like that.
Yep. Back in the day, that's what it was, man.
Well, you got to learn.
Yeah, you learned pretty quickly.
Put your fingers in there.
That's a hard lesson to learn, but but once you learn it, you don't forget it.
Doc says, "Well, we can't fix that."
Yes.
Well, I guess I won't do that again.
I won't put my finger over there
To
anymore.
see if it was sharp. Apparently it was.
Jeff says Elon has a kid named, I don't even know how you pronounce it, AE that are connected. I don't know if there's a word for that or not. And A12. And Ray wants to know if you can change your name to some guy Elliott. It's not on the list.
I say we try it. Who's willing to have a child?
And yeah. And Ray says Musk also has a son named X, which that I get, but.
Well, I know this, that I think it was one of the Kardashians, or maybe it was Beyonce. They named one of their children Blue.
I think
so they could never go to
Italy.
Yeah,
that's Beyonce and Jay-Z. Kim Kardashian and Kanye have a kid named Northwest. And the fact that I
happened on a plane. You know.
The fact that I know both of those off the top of my head, it makes me feel a little embarrassed.
Well, you're a newspaper man.
Yeah, because that's
to know
that stuff.
What's going on?
I'm a little
in all circles.
I'm a little embarrassed that I know that.
Kanye, what an interesting dude he is.
He is something.
All right, that's enough of that. Let's get set for the day, shall we?
Let's get set for the day.
Almost got you, Peter.
Peter was doing one of these. He's like, what button do I put?
I forgot my buttons for a minute, but we're all good.
It is Wednesday. It is the 4th day of June. The time is 7:48 a.m.
But wait a minute.
Okay.
Did you hug Bill today?
Bob.
Bob?
But no, I did not.
It's National Hug Your Cat Day.
If I would have hugged Bill, that would just been awkward.
Walk up to Bill.
Just walk up to Bill. He'd be like, what are you doing? But no, I did not hug Bob today either.
Well,
so.
you run home after this show and you give Bob a
National
hug.
Hug Your Cat Day.
Poor guy.
Yeah, I know.
Lost his manhood.
He was. It's like you cut off my testicles and don't even give me a hug.
I got one day. Come on.
Well, he was a little noisy this morning. Maybe that's why. Maybe he's like, it's National Hug Your Cat Day. I ignored him.
He knew.
He did.
He ignores you most of the time anyway.
Yeah, well, he does. Bob's my buddy. Temperature right now in Fairfield, Mount Pleasant, and Washington is 60 across the board. A mix of sunshine and clouds today with maybe a little bit of smoke mixed in just for fun from Canada.
Has that fire been burning for like 2 years now?
I think so.
Smoke last year too.
What I want to know is if there's any tariffs on this smoke coming in from Canada.
We should think about that.
I don't know. A high today of 77. and a low of 55. No politics, right?
No politics.
Today's headlines from the SoutheastIowaUnion.com. Fairfield's Dick Smith receives 8 over 80 award from the U of I. Collision on Highway 218 sparks fire and scatters livestock. And Sean Sowers named Chief Judge of the 6th District.
That's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
He's got well, the story was there.
Yeah,
So if you read it, you'll learn.
I have to say, there's some good stories in yesterday's paper, today's paper. Pretty heavy stories, a lot of them. There's some heavy stuff happening. But Sean Sowers getting named Chief Judge is a big deal.
He's a friend of mine.
And a good deal.
This may or may not be true. Okay, it's not. But every once in a while, I'll call him or I'll see him and I say, hey, anything you need help on?
you need an
I can
enforcer?
research for you, or I'll just give you my opinion. He smiles. He says, no.
Nah, he's good. He's got it. He's under control. Sports tonight, New London baseball and softball both travel to Mount Pleasant to take on the Panthers. This day in history, and I'm going to be full disclosure here, this was actually yesterday. I had this ready to go yesterday. Today there wasn't a whole lot of exciting stuff, but I wanted to give this guy credit. Are we still on?
We're live.
Okay.
Oh,
Things are going on and off here at the Coliseum.
don't know what that was, but we're back. We're good.
A little blurb there.
All right, we're good.
No worries. Everybody hang with us.
You all right?
It's National Cognac Day, too.
Maybe that's the problem. Did we start early this morning? So anyway, this gentleman. So on this day in 1965,
Pre-SPP.
pre-SPP,
I think it's pre-Bossman Matt.
emerging from the orbital. It was pre-Bossman Matt.
I'm the only one here to see this.
Yeah. This gentleman emerged from the orbital spacecraft Gemini 4 and became the first American astronaut to walk in space. That's a pretty big deal. Do you know what his name was?
It's on my paper, and I still don't know what it is.
I've never heard of this guy. Ed White emerged from the orbital spacecraft and became the first person to walk in space. I feel bad for him. I mean, we know Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin and John Glenn.
How do we not know?
How do we not know Ed White? He's the first guy.
He should have been a senator or something.
And maybe he was. I don't know. But this guy was the first guy. He says, all right, we've never done this before, but we're going to put you in this suit. We think it's going to work. Why don't you just go ahead and step outside of the spacecraft and see what happens?
He had an air tube attached to him. didn't he?
Yeah, well, I'm sure. An oxygen tube. Yeah, I don't think he was untethered. But still, that's the guy. It's like, here, I'm going to go walk out here for a minute.
Do you think it's hard to skydive?
Yeah.
Ed White says, I beg to differ.
Be the first guy to step out of a spacecraft.
Yeah,
And
you get up doing Mach 7 or whatever they're doing. up
exactly.
there.
So anyway, that was actually yesterday, on this day and yesterday, but I'm going to give the guy credit.
He should have 2 days.
He should. That's right. Random joke, random quote, or random fact.
SPP, you surely have a lot on your mind.
I would love a random fact.
A random fact. Do you know that it takes roughly 540 peanuts to make a single jar of peanut butter? It seems like a lot.
It doesn't seem like very much.
You don't think so?
Uh-uh.
But think how many jars of peanut butter are out there. I mean, that's like tillions of peanuts
Tillions.
getting used every day to make peanut butter.
So think how many tillions of peanuts you can get from an acre of ground.
Well, that's true too. I'll give you that. Anyway,
500 and
it doesn't say what size jar. I mean, I'm buying the monster size jar because I'm going through peanut butter pretty good. But
the one you can get your whole hand
yeah, exactly. So I'm thinking it takes more than 540 for that baby.
Yeah,
But
that's a double whammy.
yeah.
At least 1,000.
So anyway, there you go.
Interesting.
There's your random fact.
That's a good one. Thank you for that one.
Yeah.
Is there any takeaways today? SPP?
My takeaway is that if I ever go to a gender reveal party, it's just wear the wildest thing you can and just see what happens.
Just be you, SPP.
See what happens.
Like it.
Social experiment.
Boss man.
Apparently, it's the courts get to decide what you can name your baby and what can be banned and what not could be banned.
I'd like to take that to the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think I should be able to name it.
I'm actually glad it's happening in the courts and like Congress isn't wasting a lot of time saying, okay, you can't use this name or this name. Or
Imagine what a crap show that would be.
Yeah. But you know how committed you'd have to be to a name to be like, all right, I'm going to take this all the way to court to make this happen.
I don't know that it's anywhere in the Constitution that says you can't name your kid whatever you wish.
Yeah. Well, common sense might dictate some of that.
As you know, the people have spoken. Anderson Erickson up there, AE.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Or whatever that thing
Whatever
is.
that is. I think
Some
it's got a
kind of
name,
symbol.
but
You know, I get, my brain gets too much information in it. Because I had it in my takeaway, and now I can't remember what it was.
Okay.
It had something to do with Ed White and the space thing. But now I don't remember.
well, it should be National Ed White Day.
Instead, it's National Hug Your Cat Day.
National
Day,
National
Ed's Day.
Cheese has its own day, and Ed White's gets
Ed White
nothing.
doesn't. Maybe it should be National Hug Ed White Day.
Well, then Bob's going to feel like
Yeah, he will. And so will Bill.
So we had problems.
So
And Bill.
And Bill.
If you can't find your cat, just go hug a Bill.
Hug a Bill.
That's my takeaway. Let's do that. Well, thank you all for joining us today. We shall be back tomorrow. It'll be Thursday. We'll have the glorious Greta. And I'll give a full report on middle school softball. What's happening tonight
All right.
in V, Washington.
There you go.
Thank you all for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed the show. Until tomorrow. Ahoy.
Oh, wait.